Hello there, everybody. Well, with the NDA lifted, I can finally make some videos of Elder Scrolls Online. I managed to get a beta key, which was pretty neat. I've only played like once or twice before. A little bit disappointed by some of the combat. This is the first MMO I've played, like the first traditional MMO I've played. I've done a little bit of Firefall, I've done a little bit of, I don't know, a couple others. But, yeah, that's been about, like, 2 or 3 weeks. I'm sure that they've had a few updates since then. So we'll see if anything's different, if it was just a bad first impression or not. This is my character. Strides through sand. Argonian sorceress. That was actually one of the things I was kind of disappointed by. Let me just show you the character creation that I was a little bit disappointed by. There's classes is the thing. And there's only 4 classes. I'm sure there's probably going to be more, but I mean, Dragon Knight. So, Dragon Knight, Sorcerer, Nightblade, and Templar. First off, Templar and Dragon Knight, those aren't even in older versions of the game. Like, I can kind of understand, for those who know the Elder Scrolls lore, Elder Scrolls Online is set in the Second Age, so Dragon Knight especially could simply be kind of lost classes, I guess you could say. Sorcerer and Nightblade are from later games as well, but they kind of changed them around. I guess they kept a lot of, for Nightblade at least, they kept a lot of the idea behind it. As you can see, adventurous opportunists, getting in and out of trouble, stealth, end blades, and speed. They actually use a type of shadow magic, which is different. Never seen shadow magic in Elder Scrolls. And the sorcerer, they've kind of changed it from just general magic to specifically elemental magic or nether magic, which is a little bit weird. Like, you'll see the staff here. They've made it specifically so that the 3 basic elemental magics are just stabs, like staff effects, and then sorcerers specifically have extra lightning and fog stuff, which is interesting, and I guess they use summoning as well. It's strange. The races are all there though, which is nice, and from what I can tell, they all look pretty good. There's a lot of customization in all of them. A little bit of lag there. A lot of customization in all of them, as you always expect. I find it interesting that there's a cross-faction race in the Imperials. So, or maybe it's just people that get the Imperial package will be able to be Imperials. I don't know. Actually, I wonder. Because I know I did the Argonia and I looked through everything. Wow. Kind of weird to see a female Khajiit with what's essentially a mane. Interesting. But yeah, they have this pretty neat body slider. It makes it a lot simpler to get a general body shape. Like, you can go straight muscular, you can go real thin. Come on. Or you can go just straight up. You can make fat characters, which is cool. Like, really cool. Like here, torso size. Chest size. Gut size. You can make a character with a gut. Which is neat, you know? So, let's see. Also, posterior dimensions. Kind of funny. So yeah, you can make like a pretty fat character. You can make him short too, so you can make, or you can make him tall. And it's not, you know, incredibly fat, but still, it's more than you can get in most other games. Fat Templar. Aha. And you can pretty well, you have the same sort of triangular slider up here, you can pretty well adjust the face. And you get kind of, especially on the animal races, you kind of get variants of how bestial you want them to be. You can get different voices. Let's see if we can't. Yeah, lots of different options there. Once again, with the beast races, it's kind of disappointing in that they're not quite as guttural as they can be in other games. But hey, the mane is just kind of weird. Also, you can make them bold. It's just a kind of a shader, but still, it's kind of cool. And then there's various adornments, which I guess for this is the kind of, yeah, it has like the ears and the earrings and the cat features that you would have. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. And there's just there, that works. And then of course, you know, the different scars and war paints that you can get. That's pretty cool. And you can actually, you know, customize most of the head as well. Plus, you can do this. You can... what other hairstyles are there? Aha, there we go. So you can remove the hair. But you can also, if you want, and the hair textures aren't that good actually. They're a little bit feathery. But that's kind of to be expected. They did as well as they could, you know? Dreads. Those are always fun. Actually, what's the one previous? I actually like that. And you can, if you wish, lock things and then randomize them. So, say I'm pretty good with the body. Made my fat cat. And I don't want to bother messing with the face too much. So what I can do is I can randomize, and that will just randomize what I don't have locked. Which is pretty neat. A lot of these faces, I have to say, are kind of male, which is interesting. I think maybe they're struggling with that in some of the beast races. And where was it? Where was it? Do they not have that? I wonder if they don't have that for the Khajiit. That would be strange if they didn't. Head marking, hairstyle, hair types, body marking. That's what it is. Okay. Let's see. No gear. Body marking. You can be different kinds of cats. So, yeah. And let's just go for, you know, the ladies out there. There you go. Our fat cat. Rawr. I wonder if there's anything like Ocelot style. Oh wow, tabbies. Heh. And a couple of scars. Let's go with the tiger. But you can actually take a look at what they look like with no gear, of course. Veteran gear, which apparently there is race-specific gear, but you can wear it between all races. That's something I've heard. So that's kind of interesting. Huh. Weird. And then novice gear. One second. Sorry about that. Anyways, where was I? Yeah, trying just to get the features, the adornments, that is, back to where I wanted. Still okay with that. I might want to do something. Whoa. Holy beards, Batman. What? Okay, you know what I'm going to try? I'm going to try this. Yeah. I think I like that a little bit better. And what other hairstyle? Yeah, no. Sure, let's do that. You can zoom in and out. Pretty nice. And the different classes do have different veteran gear, too. Not incredibly different, but somewhat different. I'm guessing it's just supposed to be different materials or something. Now, like, yeah, the difference between, like, the Templar and the Dragon Knight, not as big. The difference between those and the Sorcerer or the Nightblade, a lot bigger. And funny looking, too. Huh, that's actually not bad. Hey, let's make a fat Nightblade. Character name. Let's see. Kit. There we go. I was just going to show you the my other character that I'd already had created, but I think, yeah, just kind of show you the whole thing. The tutorial, the starting area, isn't terrible, and like I said, I didn't really get that far, so hey. Yeah, and I don't know, the ability bar is interesting. The way that they do abilities in combat in this game is, I think, a good mix between kind of the traditional MMO hotkey and the mouse-driven system that you see in the other Elder Scrolls games. The one problem I have with it, and I mean, it's even the spells and stuff, you can use mana as opposed to cooldowns. There might be cooldowns for some of them, but the ones that I've seen, you're limited in your mana usage as opposed to the cooldown, which is pretty cool. And so, you know, you make a sorcerer character that focuses on yeah, I love how they say search the cell, and there's not actually anything in here you can interact with. But in fine Elder Scrolls tradition, you start off as a prisoner in an unknown cell. And then a guy comes around and is like, hey, you're the chosen one. I shall free you. Yeah. It's fully voice acted.
You've been through an ordeal.
But luckily
Take a
there's
few
a few more
moments to
options.
collect yourselves.
And they have a little bit more lore.
Like you, I'm a prisoner in this place. Yet so much more. I am the past and the future.
I'm just gonna skip over.
I am despair, and you must rescue me. And I, in turn,
way faster than actually see them. And I don't know how I want to ruin the.
You there? We are escaping. Let me open your door.
So it is an Argonian every time.
That's it. Quickly, you must escape before the guards return.
Little load screens, not terrible load screens, which is pretty good.
quickly, Follow Erdocene.
And there's the sprint function back in from...
There are weapons in the
Skyrim.
forge beyond these cells. Arm yourself.
Give me just a second again. Alright, there we go. I just wanted to shut my door so we can interact again. If you hear a bang, that's probably what it is. Oh, right. Yeah, and this is where I think they've gone right.
Something to defend yourself from the rats.
As opposed to the traditional MMO, yeah, I might be in Nightblade class, but I can choose twin axes, or bows, or sword and shield, or a giant, two-handed mace. I don't know why they don't just call it a hammer. Or I can choose a healing staff, or a destruction staff. It's nice. And as far as I can tell, there are no limits to gear based on class, based on race. You will get certain gear based on class and based on race, but there aren't limits to it. I'm thinking I'm going to actually test out what the bow is like, and how that seems to work. Because with my other sorcerer, I actually did I like with Argonians like to do kind of a whirling dervish two-weapon thing, so I did the twin axes. And I've found that melee combat is sadly a little bit disappointing. It's just a tad bit... it's the sound assets, mostly. So let's see if the combat with bows is a little bit better. Because I loved the spellcasting. Spellcasting was nice. It had a lot of weight to it, even with the smallest spells. Had some nice effects. They didn't, babysit you and show you, oh, this is exactly how far away you can use it. So, with like a red ring on the ring or something, it doesn't break immersion that way. But the combat's kind of gone a little bit back to Morrowind almost, in that things clip through bodies. Like I said, the sound assets aren't that great. They're kind of as opposed to like thuddy or hitting. Anyways, which is an interesting key, but okay. Execute a light attack, execute a heavy attack. Yeah, press, hold, and then you can block as well. And then there's a thing, an advanced technique. If you click both mouse buttons at the right time, when enemies are using a special attack, there will be a sort of... I'll just show it to you. It's a thing. I don't know what it is. Let's see. There's a button. I haven't figured out which button it is to actually equip
An enemy approaches. Strike it down.
Anyways.
Do not slow the vestige. With the passing of time, any indecision becomes
that little kind of knockdown to shoot him that I did, that is the special move for the advanced move. You can zoom in. You can zoom all the way into first person again, and you can zoom all the way out to third person, which is nice. It's the gorgeous characters. Or you can see everything textured and kind of aiming.
Another enemy blocks the path ahead. Dispatch it quickly.
And ha! Okay, that's... I've never seen that before.
Whoa there! Are you alright? I heard fighting.
And here is Lyris Titanborn.
You got more meat on your bones than most of these poor bastards. I see you've armed yourself.
Do I?
Good. I hope you've still got some fight left. A fellow prisoner. The name's what?
Yeah.
Who told Prophet?
It's an interesting little story.
Break him out, of course. Keep your weapon ready. I'm sure you do. And I'll answer them as best I can.
I kind of wish that I wasn't spoiling this for you. You might want, like, not the character creation stuff, but the actual story things. Actually, I might show you the basics of leveling up, and then I might switch over to my other character. So, yeah. Give me a minute. But yeah, leveling up. Much like in Skyrim, you have magicka, health, and stamina. Unlike Skyrim, it actually shows you what each of these does, and how they're affected by things. For example, if I were to do plus stamina, that gives me extra max stamina, and that's about it right now, which is, you know, useful, and I'm sure it probably does something for... This gives me extra health. This gives me extra magicka, and, you know, that's a basic thing. I think that as you go up, they will start affecting things like spell damage, or criticals, or stamina recovery, and that sort of thing. I think as I'm going for a Nightblade, I'll just do a stamina and E to commit. So I've committed points, and you also get skills. Now this is another place where they did right in not confining you to the specific classes, which is very interesting. Now it makes it's easier to get certain things. You do have certain class skills, and those are kind of in that, you know, there's your assassination, there's your shadow, there's your second, and they're kind of they're skill trees. Like you have 3 different skill trees essentially, but everyone can do weapon style class things. Everyone can learn dual wielding or two-handed or bow skills. Everyone can learn light or medium or heavy armor, which is cool. Everyone can learn the different craft skills or something. I don't know about how the craft skills work. And then you do also have your racial skills, which are essentially your powers, in a way. Like medium armor expertise, robust, stealthy, and carnage. So, in a way, really good choice for a Nightblade stuff. But yeah, the class stuff. Assassination. The Assassin's Blade, instant enemy, 5-meter range, costs 28 magic, 17 magic damage, and low health targets take 3% damage. That's pretty nice. That is the sort of thing that you would use as an assassination, kind of a finisher, which is very nice. It doesn't tell you like what low health target health is on the character, but I guess you can kind of guess that. They have shadow powers, which is the more magic. They have shadow invisibility for 2.5 seconds, which is pretty nice. I have to wonder if you can get extra crits. There's Strife, that deals... Oh, interesting. Deals magic damage and heals player. So that's kind of a balance between the two. And then there's things like these. There's passive abilities that you can get. There's the other active abilities. And there's this ultimate ability. I'm not sure exactly. Yeah, it's just like as you rank up in your specific skill trees, you can get these. And it's interesting because these will actually rank up as you use them. I think I will use Shadow because that seems pretty fun. And it automatically loads it into the ability tray. And as you can see, yeah, there's an experience bar for it, which is pretty cool. And so, I wonder if I have a second level. What's going on? Weird. And so I could do this, say. I'm now invisible. You cannot see me. Only for a couple seconds, though. And as you can see, the mana went down, but the there was no cooldown on the thing.
The Ashen Mines are dangerous. The art is heavily patrolled as the other routes out of the prison.
Oh yeah, and you can jump too.
Dearest Titanborn is a mighty warrior. Trust in her.
There's no ammo, it looks like, which is nice, I guess. But yeah, you can jump. And as far as I can tell, there aren't any Well, there aren't any invisible walls as far as I can tell. You can go anywhere if you can get to it. So you can go on, you can straight up parkour places. You know, you can jump pretty high, and I'm betting that that's something that will increase as your stamina, say, increases. But it's like, here, no, the hitboxes aren't that good on these, apparently. Oh, that would be amazing if you could just jump up here and go on the sideway. But yeah, it's like you can explore behind here, and this is the very beginning tutorial, you know? They would have been well within their rights to put you on rails for this level. Let's see, is there a... Yes. Up, nope. Darn. Yeah, there is sneaking, there is, you know, all that. But yeah, they would have been perfectly within their rights to put you on rails for the tutorial, but they didn't. And I'd be willing to bet some place in all this.
Confidence is a beast that grows two heads, but each that is cut off.
That I wouldn't be too surprised if there's some sort of secret hidden back here someplace in an area that most people don't go. You know, I'm not sure what it would be, but like maybe a chest with like 10 gold or something. But it's interesting, you know. Anyways, like I said, I think I'm going to switch to the other character. I might possibly cut the video and have a second video here. But yeah, this was the basics of character creation. I'll show you some of the basics of questing and some melee combat. Like I said, I actually do kind of like the... I do actually like the ranged combat pretty well. It's nice. So yeah, I might actually come back to this character, play him a little bit. Like I said, it's kind of interesting that you can do the invisibility, and it works on the enemies too. I'm betting it works on players as well if there's in the PvP. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I wonder if it works on friendly players. Anyways, I will get back to you once I've gotten to the other character.